That's you? Oh, we're gonna do the new office.
Next month.
Oh, the new office, so we'll wait that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Is that in
Start the
December?
first one then.
When the first
January?
one, we'll do Pledge of Allegiance.
We should have shaman then too.
We can do like a sage, you know.
Turn it off.
Do
Good
it all.
morning,
Cleanse
everyone.
cleanse
This
the
is
office.
being recorded.
Being recorded.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this is the meeting of the New York City Fire Pension Fund Board of Trustees. The date is October 24th, 2018. It is 10:30. We are at the Fire Department Headquarters, 9 Metro Tech Center, Brooklyn, New York, in room 8S7. May I have a roll call?
Certainly. Good morning, everybody. For the mayor, Mayor de Blasio,
Cynthia Collins, designee for Mayor Bill de Blasio.
and for Controller Scott Stringer,
John Dorsett, designee for Controller Scott Stringer.
for Commissioner Jacques Jiha,
Phil Dukes, designated for Commissioner Jacques Jiha.
for the UFA, Mr. Gerard Fitzgerald,
Leroy McGinnis with Gerard Fitzgerald's proxy.
Mr. Leroy McGinnis,
Here.
Mr. Edward Brown,
Here.
Mr. John Kelly,
Yeah.
Mr. Peter DeVita,
Here.
and for the UFOA, Mr. Jack Kelton,
Here.
Mr. William Guilfoyle,
Here.
Mr. Paul Mannix.
Here.
And for Commissioner Daniel Nigro,
Terrell Brown for Commissioner Michael.
we have a quorum.
Thank you. First order of business is the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting that was held on September 25th, and the approval of the minutes from the investment meeting, June 20th, 2018, as well as July 18th, 2018, and September 17th, 2018.
Motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
The minutes are approved. Did we get the minutes?
So
The board is requested to adopt the actuary's resolution for the initial estimated payment of transferable earnings from the New York City Fire Pension Fund to the firefighters' variable supplement fund and the officers' variable supplement funds for fiscal year 2018, on pages 1 through 11.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve maximum.
Hold on 1 second.
The board is requested to approve maximum pension allowance payment to retired members without an option selected. 17 cases are listed on pages 12 and 13.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve refund of annuity saving account excess to improved benefit plan members. 39 cases of the 39 cases listed on pages 14 through 19.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve application for the return of increased take-home pay in the lump sum amount of $107,731.62 to Mrs. Jackie Lorino, widow and designated beneficiary of deceased firefighter Terrence M. Lorino, listed on pages 20 through 23.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve applications for return of accumulated deductions / contributions due to resignation. There are 3 cases listed on page 24.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Any motion, discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve advance payments to retirees entered on the fund September 2018 payroll. 25 cases listed on pages 25 through 27.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve payments to physicians of Subchapter 2 Medical Board as noted on pages 28 and 29.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve payments due Fink and Carney reporting and video as listed on page 30.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. The board is requested to approve payment due Mechanical Secretary, Inc. on page 31.
So moved.
Second.
We'll now move to the firefighters variable supplement fund. Roll call.
Roll call for the firefighters variable supplement fund for the mayor of New York, Mayor de Blasio,
Cynthia Collins, designee for Mayor Bill de Blasio.
for Controller Scott Stringer,
Susanna Vickers, designee.
and for Commissioner Jacques Jihan.
Phil Dukes, designee for Commissioner Jiha.
For the UFA, Mr. Leroy McGinnis,
Here.
Mr. Edward Brown.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
God bless you.
So the board is requested to approve the actuary's resolution for determination of AVO gate for the firefighters variable supplements fund as of June 30th, 2018, as indicated on pages 32 to 45.
Motion to accept.
Who is that?
Leroy.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any
Edward Brown.
discussion? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. Okay. So I now ask for a motion to adjourn the firefighters.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
And now move into the fire officers variable supplement fund. May I have a roll call, please?
For the UFOA variable supplement fund for Mayor de Blasio,
Cynthia Collins for Mayor de Blasio.
for Controller Scott Stringer,
Susanna Vickers.
for Commissioner of Finance Jacques Jihan,
Phil Dukes.
for the UFOA, Mr. Jack Kelty. Here. And Mr. William Guilfoyle.
Here.
Always a quorum.
The board is asked for a motion to approve or to request the board is requested to adopt the actuary's resolution for determination of ABO gates for the fire officers variable supplement fund as of June 30th, 2018, as listed on pages 46 through 59.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. Now I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn the fire officers variable supplement fund.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Now I'd like to move into the New York City Fire Life Insurance.
Roll call for Mayor de Blasio,
Cynthia Collins, designee for Mayor de Blasio.
for Controller Scott Stringer,
Susanna Vickers.
for Commissioner of Finance Jacques Jihan,
Phil Dukes.
for the UFA, Mr. Gerard Fitzgerald,
Leroy McGinnis with Gerard's proxy.
Mr. Leroy McGinnis,
Here.
Mr. Edward Brown.
Here.
Mr. John Kelly,
He stepped out of the room. Leroy with John's proxy.
and Mr. Peter DeVita. For the UFOA, Mr. Jack Kelty,
Here.
Mr. William Guilfoyle,
Here.
Mr. Paul Mannix.
Here.
And for Commissioner Daniel Nigro,
Tell Brown for Commissioner Violet.
we have a quorum.
The board is requested to approve each application for $7,500 of life insurance benefits from beneficiaries of deceased retired members. 24 cases listed on pages 60 through 65.
Motion to accept. Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. And now ask for a motion to move out of public session into executive session.
So So moved.
Second?
Any discussion, motion, hearing none, move adjourn the public and move into executive session.